Hey, Tina Derby from La La Horse. Just wanted to give you a quick intro before you watch this video. It is a very short overview of things to think about and questions to ask, and a few basic things to know when you are getting started picking a riding instructor for either yourself as an adult or for a child. If you get to the end of this and you have questions, which you probably will, please email us at mail, M-A-I-L, at lalahorse.com. Again, that's mail, M-A-I-L, at lalahorse.com. And we will be happy to get back to you with information specific to your particular situation. All right, hopefully that's helpful and enjoy the video.
Horseback Riding Lessons 101, the Basics. This is a good short course for those who want to get started in riding either themselves or are helping a child get started with riding lessons. When getting started with horses, the most important thing to do at the beginning is to choose a very good riding instructor. When choosing a riding instructor, it is wise to get recommendations from those who have some experience and expertise in this area. Now, a few good places to look for recommendations include friends and family, and experienced consultants such as the folks at Myco's Equine Consulting, and good websites such as the American Riding Instructors Association site. Now, this is by no means a complete list, but a few important points to consider when talking to a potential instructor include: what are the instructor's qualifications? If she or he shows or competes, how have her or his riders and horses done during those competitions? Does the instructor have a suitable lesson horse for you to ride? Most horses are not good lesson horses, so you need to be sure that the instructor has at least one calm, gentle, well-trained horse available for use when teaching lessons. Also, what kind of a facility does the instructor have? Is it clean and neat? Are the animals in good condition? Is there a covered or indoor arena available for use during hot, rainy, and/or cold weather? If you think you'll want to compete at some point, will the instructor be available to attend those events with you? And how far away from you is the instructor? Is it realistic that you will be able to get to the instructor's farm for lessons at least one time per week? A question you will need to ask yourself, at least at some point, will be, what discipline do I want to ride? Now, there are two major riding disciplines available to those who work with horses. These include English riding, such as jumping over fences, and then there is Western riding, which is the kind of riding that the cowboys did. From there are many sub-disciplines and specialties, which is fun because it gives one so many ways in which to enjoy horses. But, with all that said, in the beginning, when you first start riding, you really don't need to worry too much about choosing a particular discipline. You see, the basics of all riding are pretty much the same, so for your first lessons, any talented instructor should be able to help get you started in such a way that you will be secure and confident on a horse and able to control it in most any situation. Once you're able to do all that, then you might decide to specialize in one riding discipline or another. Or maybe you'll ride several disciplines, which is certainly fine too. Of course, speaking of things you can do with horses, there are certainly some people who don't either want to ride a horse or they can't ride a horse, but they still want to be involved with horses in some way or another. Well, there are a number of wonderful options available for those folks too, including driving a horse, yes, like the old days, with a harness and buggy. And then there is work that can be done with a horse, what we call in hand, which is when the person leads the horse, sometimes around obstacles, kind of like dog agility, and sometimes through patterns that are meant to showcase the grace and showmanship of the horse and its handler. So, even if riding is not for you, there are still plenty of ways you can enjoy a horse when you are not on its back. It is hard to say how many lessons one will need to have before one will become comfortable and competent on and around a horse. Riding is really a personal journey, and each student learns to ride at his or her own pace. Learning to ride a horse depends on many things, such as desire, personality, level of fitness, time constraints, etc. What is important here is to spend time up front to find a riding instructor who is not only well qualified to teach riding, but is interested in your aspirations and dreams and shares your passion. At what age can a child start to ride a horse? This is a question we hear a lot. Generally, kids can start horseback riding lessons at around age 4. Of course, this depends on their attention span when working around horses. As for adults, well, they can ride as long as they are physically and mentally able. Riding lessons are taught in 3 general categories: private, which are one-on-one sessions, semi-private with 2 riders, and group lessons, which will have anywhere from around 3 to 10 riders. When you first start out, you should be only taking private lessons. That's because there are so many things you need to learn in order to ride safely that the instructor will need to completely focus on you and your horse throughout the whole lesson. After you have reached a level of competence where you can safely control your horse, the instructor may offer to let you ride in semi-private or group lessons. How long are riding lessons? Private and semi-private lessons usually last for about 30 to 45 minutes. Group lessons usually last for about an hour. Most riding schools expect you to come around 15 minutes prior to your lesson so you can meet your horse, help get him ready, which is called tacking up, and to discuss the goals and teaching plan for that session. Additionally, you may be asked to untack after your lesson. When all is said and done, this could take a total of around 2 hours, so be sure to plan your time accordingly. Costs of riding lessons. The costs of riding lessons are generally around $25 to $45 for a group lesson, $35 to $45 for a semi-private lesson, and $50 to $75 for private lessons. Most instructors also offer a discounted rate when you purchase a block of lessons up front, and usually that's like 4 lessons at one time. Additionally, some farms will allow you to work off some or all of the cost of lessons by doing things like helping to feed and care for the horses, cleaning stalls, doing fence building and repair, etc. So, if this is of interest to you, be sure to ask your instructor about different options at your farm. How often do you need to ride? Well, the more often you ride, the faster you will improve. Your muscles need training, and you will need to develop a relaxed concentration to be able to feel the horse respond to your hands, seat, and legs. Generally, you'll want to plan on riding at least 1 time a week. However, if you want to compete, you'll need to ride much more often than that. But to start, riding 1 time a week is good. Do you need to own your own horse in order to start riding lessons? Well, the answer is definitely no. Most riding instructors will have a safe, well-trained horse for you to ride during your lessons. Now, if and when the day comes you decide to purchase a horse, please procure the services of a qualified, expert equine professional to ensure that you are purchasing a suitable mount for your level of riding and experience. Also, be sure you can afford to maintain and care for a horse. In fact, rather than jumping into buying a horse, there are many great horses which are available to lease, and that can be a nice option since it will allow you to test out horse ownership to see if it's something that will work out well for both you and the horse. Yes, that's right, leasing allows you to date your horse before you marry it. What to wear when riding a horse. At a minimum, you'll want to wear an ASTM certified riding helmet, hard-soled, closed-toed shoes with a 1-inch heel, meaning no sneakers and no sandals, and a comfortable fitted pant, meaning no shorts and no skirts. Proper attire can be purchased new from just about any tack shop, and the prices are around as follows. ASTM helmets, $65. Breeches or jodhpurs, aka riding pants, $50. Half chaps, which will help to keep your pants clean, $40. Jodhpur or paddock boots, $35. Also, if you want to save a little or even a lot of money, you can look for good used equipment on places like Facebook, Craigslist, and eBay. No matter where you get your riding attire from, however, be sure to make your purchases with the guidance of your riding instructor or another qualified equine professional. Riding in weather. Of course, no matter where you live, weather happens. This is why it's important to find a farm, if possible, that has a covered or indoor arena. That way, riding lessons will likely be available to you all year long, and no matter the weather, such as on rainy days. For those who live where it gets cold in the winter, you might want to see if you can find a farm that has a heated indoor arena. Not many farms can afford to heat their arenas, but boy, on those really cold days, having a heated arena to ride in will surely make the experience a lot more fun. In the winter, be sure to dress warmly, but also be sure to have gloves and clothing that will allow you to work safely around horses. Your instructor should be able to help you choose clothing that would be appropriate. In the summer, be sure to have plenty of water on hand, as you will need it since riding is a physically demanding sport. Helpful resources. So that you can learn more about horseback riding and the right way to get started in the sport, we have compiled a few helpful resources for you to review next. These include a wonderful video from the USEF, which is the U.S. Equestrian Federation, on what to expect at your first riding lesson. You can view this by going online to bit.ly/USEF lesson. The USEF also has an excellent page of information on youth programs and resources, which can be found at bit.ly/youthriding. For help finding a good riding instructor, you can check out the website of the American Riding Instructors Association. You can get there by going to bit.ly/findinstructor. Personalized help. For those who would like more personalized, one-on-one help from an independent third party, you can check out the services offered over at Maiko's Equine Consulting. David and Lori Maikos are two of the most successful instructors in the country, and their list of national winning horses and riders just goes on and on and on. They are available to help guide people through every aspect of horse ownership and care, and they work with folks at all levels, from brand new beginners to those competing for national titles. For more information about David and Lori and what they have to offer, you can check them out at maikosequine.com. That's MIKOSZEQUINE.com.